Today we'll be learning about the conversion of units. Conversion of units is a very simple topic, but nonetheless very important in solving problems in the future topics. Here I found an interesting article whereby a Mars probe was lost due to a simple math error. And the amount of money that was lost is 125 million. And all of this was because the spacecraft engineers had failed to convert from English to metric measurements when exchanging the vital data before the craft was launched. One team, the navigation team, had used the metric system, while the designers of the spacecraft had provided their data in the English system. And the JPL engineers had mistook the acceleration readings in English units, and that had resulted in millions of dollars being lost. Hence, what can we take away from this is that units of measurement is very important. When we look at a quantity, it is usually composed of a value and a unit. A value is the numerical representation, while the unit gives us an idea of how big or small the value is. Just by telling that the distance between, for example, my house and the school is 200.3, it is impossible to gauge the distance. But if I were to say 200.3 kilometers, I would for sure know that it's probably in a different state even. But if it's meters, that's a distance that I can walk to. So it's always important to know that there is a value as well as a unit. Moving on to system of units, there are three types of units. Firstly, the base unit. The base unit comprises of mass, for example, length, time. These are the basic units, and other units would include temperature, electrical current, light intensity. Then the second type is multiple units, which are defined as multiples of fractions of base units. So for example, you can have 1 km, which equals to 1,000 meters. And I know that 1 km is multiples of 1 meter. This also applies to time, whereby minutes and hours are multiples of the unit second. And the third type is derived units, which are also known as compound, which are obtained by multiplying and or dividing base or multiple units. For example, density, which is mass divided by the volume. And we know volume is a multiple unit of length. Under this system of units, there are three widely accepted systems. So the first one is the SI unit, which is also known as the System International D unit. It is an internationally accepted system of units which comprises of base units such as meter for length, kg for mass, second for time, Kelvin for temperature, ampere for electric current, and candela for luminous intensity. A second system of unit in practice would be the CGS, which is also known as centimeter, gram, second, which just replaces the meter with cm, kg with gram, and for mass and length. Lastly, we have the American engineering system, which uses very different units compared to the SI unit and CGS, which would be foot for length, pound mass for mass, and here in both in the above two, time is always second.